try to work together.
All right. So the answer is that politics is politics, and you see you see how dirty it is all the time, and in most cases it's like here, the politics wins over the subject matter.
Yeah.
However, there is no deadlock anymore, because Israel is strongly tilted to the right.
Yeah.
So there's no deadlock. There was a deadlock in the 80s. Okay, so Israel was formed as a country by the left side of the map. The left ruled Israel for 29 years. And then different underground but very strong and very permanent, very decisive currents underground started, and again the most important moves are demographic. And as Sephardi gained majority over Ashkenazi, and most Sephardic are voting right, the Israeli politics swayed to the right. So it started as left until 1977. In 1977, Menachem Begin was the first right-winger who went to power. In the 80s, there was a gridlock. Since the 80s until beginning of the 2000s, there was like here or there, here or there. It's very, very similar to what's happening now in America. But now it's the other way, to the side of the left, from the right. Because what's happening now, what's forming now in America is the coalition of minorities. Many minorities are voting Democrats. And everyone says that if the Republicans will not wake up and change something about it, they'll become a very harmonious group, but a minority. And then all the minorities are usually voting Democrats. So what's happening here, and now we have a gridlock. Now we have a gridlock. Only in the recent years, there used to be a time that the Parliament could function. Now we are in a gridlock. What will happen in 20 years from now? I believe that the balance will move to the left, here in America, towards the liberals. Because we have more and more the minorities here. Unless something happens dramatic and Republicans will wake up and start to draw, votes to them, it will change their views. So it will be dramatic. So what we are experiencing now, this gridlock, happened in Israel in the 80s. And it was very, very hard. Very hard. And it forced joint governments, unified governments, 2 times, Shimon Peres and Yitzhak Shamir, in 85, 84, and then 88, 84 and 88. One time it was a rotational government, okay, which started with Peres and continued with Shamir. The next time Shamir could not get a majority, but he still was a little stronger. So he took Peres, and it was not a rotation, it was 4 years Shamir. And Peres was his second. So it's happened in Israel, and now it's gone. The right has taken Israel. Israel is getting more and more righty, more and more religious. Those are the populations that are procreating all the time. Well, not for them.
They're having fun.
Problem define yourself, and maybe for them it's good. Okay? Yeah.
So you as an Israeli cannot vote in absentia, right? Or could you get on a plane the day before vote and go over there and vote and then come back?
Yeah.
Why don't they have it?
That's the system. That's the rule. That's the rule. That's the law. That's the way it is. That's the law. And they're talking about changing for a while. But the concept is there are 2 big concepts. One, I'm in Israel. I want to vote. The other one is you don't live here. What do you have to tell us what to do? So they're telling it to me. They're telling it to me. Now in America, I'm an American. I want to vote wherever I am. This concept is leading. Israel, the other concept is leaving. What about students that are in America just in residence? Okay, they are here for a few years and they'll go back to Israel and they didn't immigrate, they don't have green cards. So there are people who are talking about allowing them to vote. It didn't change yet. Yeah.
How long is the period of the vote itself? And after the vote closes, how quickly will the makeup of the parliament be known?
All right.
And after that, how long does it take to form a government?
Okay. So here are the. Okay. First of all, it opens about 7 o'clock in the morning. It closes 10 p.m.
Same day.
Same day. Same day. And the government and the law allows to have a sabbatical day for everyone. Because people have to be where they are registered. What happens if you live in another place? What happens if you cannot be at work this day? So it's a day that nothing is working. It's like a Shabbat. And you're given by the government a ticket for the bus if you don't have your own private vehicle to get to your polling place from wherever, and it should be accepted by the bus company, right? And you have to be in your polling place, and that's it. If you are sick and you're in your hospital, there used to be a time that they had, moving mobile votes in the hospitals. I think they cancelled it. There used to be mobile votes in jails. They cancelled it. There used to be in ships under the Israeli flag. They cancelled it. So that's it. But I can go and vote. If I'll be there on that day, I can vote. Oh. At 10 o'clock there will be 10 p.m. Israel time, which is our 12 p.m. Okay? The minute the vote is closing, 10 p.m. sharp, they'll give the first TV poll. And in most cases, they are predicting pretty good. What the TVs are doing, they have an optional polling place by the real poll. They spread them all over, and people are asked to go and vote exactly what they just voted. And in most cases, there are adversary, some like Sephardic, low income, against the government, sometimes will change their vote just to spite, the pollers. But in most cases they are right. They predicted the first Begin rise to power in '77, and so on. So and the true ones, and there will be night, they will be broadcasting through the night around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. We'll have 60% of the votes, which is it's very hard to move dramatically, but there were events in 1981. Peres went to sleep. Shimon Peres went to sleep as the next prime minister, woke up as the head of the opposition. So at night there was a swing, of voters, maybe it took more time for polls from distance to arrive, and they were Begin's voters, and they changed it. So there are changes, but.
And for the coalition to form?
Okay, the law is. The law. Here is what the law says. When we are it's 9 o'clock. I can continue. I'm fine. Let me just tell me when.
If you allow me to make an announcement before everybody leaves. So on Sunday, Hadassah is having a special program on progressive Zionism, which some of the people here might be interested in. It's a woman attorney who is coming to speak with us, and she's going to talk about how to be a liberal Zionist, and then how to explain it to your friends. So it's at 10 o'clock. It's a brunch, and it's at the De Anza Mobile Home Park on the west side of Santa Cruz. And if anybody is interested, they can contact.
Thanks. So here is what the law requires. As soon as the votes, the formal voting, again, according to these mandates, calculations, and so on, is done, and everyone knows exactly how many votes, how many seats he has in the Knesset, the president summons all party leaders of all parties, one by one, not together, and confers with them. And he's asking them who they suggest or who they are recommending to be the next person to try and form a government. They can say this guy, that guy, or they can say we don't recommend anyone. After that, the president will look at what he sees and he will think of the person that it is most realistic that he will be able to form a government. And then he will call this person and he will give him the mandate to form a government. Now, it used to be 3 weeks, and if he cannot do that, he may go to the president and ask for an extension of another 3 weeks, and then he will either come with a list and with a coalition agreement, or the president will have to reconsider and give it to someone else. That's what happened in 1984. Peres received the mandate from the president. No, that was in 88. In 88, Peres received the mandate from the president first. So the president thought that he has the best chances. Shamir succeeded to form a block of 60 votes. Exactly. And didn't let him to get to the 61 votes. After 3 weeks and another 3 weeks of extension, Peres said, I can't form a government. So the president gave it to Shamir. And again, guess what? Peres had 60 votes as a block. And they couldn't form a government. After 3 weeks, or something like that, Shamir offered Peres a coalition together, a unified government. But because he had a mandate at that time, it wasn't a rotational government. That's what happened, for example. Now I think it's changed slightly. It's now 2 weeks and 2 more weeks. But it will take some time. This is why I want to say now as a note. I will be speaking again 5 days after the elections. We will know what the results are, but we will not know anything. And actually, it's very early. It's very early time. The peak of it will start only after 3 weeks, and then will be an extension or whatever, 2 weeks. But you couldn't find another spot. So I'll come here and I'll talk about what's happening now and the aftermath of the elections, and if there were surprises or not, and I'll come up with different scripts that will be more realistic because we know exactly what numbers we have, but we will not know what government it is. And then maybe we'll decide on another talk a month after that we'll talk about what's going on. I'll still be here.
Is there anything else on the ballot besides the parties?
No.
Nothing else?
In Israel you vote with one little note. There's no ballot. You go into the polling place, it's like this size with a curtain. You're alone. You have a box and with different notes, with letters, alphabetical letters. It says the letters in big letters, and then under it in smaller letters you can see the name of the party. You take one vote, one note, make sure there are no two, because if you put two in the envelope, even if it's the same ones, it's invalid. You put it in an envelope, you throw it to the box, to another box outside. That's it.
If you had to design a governmental system for Israel, would you design the current one?
No, however, there were attempts to change it, and 2 times, 2 or 3, in the 90s, we voted with 2 votes, with 2 notes. One for directly for Prime Minister, so there was no, the Prime Minister was elected directly by the people. So the President didn't have to confer with other parties and check, because the people directly elected a person to vote for, and then you voted for a party. Basically like here in the parliament. After 2 election rounds, it was cancelled because the consequences, again, God, the man is planning and God is laughing. That's what they say, right? The consequences, the results of it is not expected. Like, for example here, they tried to eliminate the Arabs. What do they get? More Arabs in the Knesset. Or they will get, probably. Okay, that's an example. The elevating of the flesh made parties unified. Those that will bring Itamar and what's his name, Marzel, to this rightist guy who wants to blow up the Temple Mount.
Yeah.
This guy will bring him to the Knesset because Eli Yishai had to bring him and these few guys, to give him the last vote to pass the thresh, if he will pass the thresh. You see? So the results are not expected. What happened back then is that people said, okay, I can now vote for Netanyahu, but then give my voice to another party. So the Prime Minister was heading a weak party and the huge diversity of parties around it. So he had the authority, but he didn't have the power. He couldn't rule. The coalition was even less stable. So it happened, and after 2 times it was back to the old system.
I don't think I heard an answer to my question, but that's okay.
What would you design? Would you design?
No, I said I cannot design it, but there were attempts.
Okay.
If I would design it,
Would you
I don't
adopt the
know
American system?
yes. Yeah. As a person who lives here, lives there, lives in both places, I know that people here think it's evil, think it doesn't work, but guys, look at you guys. It's holding for 200 years now. Over 200.
Thank you.
And we are still the best place on earth. And we have flux of immigrants coming in.
Is there only one language? Is there only one language on the ballot?
There's also Arabic, not English, because it's the first foreign language. There are 2 formal languages in Israel: Arabic and Hebrew. All signs are Arabic and Hebrew, and sometimes, on highways, of course, English as well. But formally, there is English, Arabic, and Hebrew. So there is also Arabic and Hebrew. Like there are special votes or special notes that you put in a Jewish place or an Arab place. So, like the Labour Party votes are in Arabic also in Arab places. They're trying to accommodate. Okay, guys, I'll see you not in a month. 5 days on the 22nd, 5 days after the election. And again, I hope they have what to say. I can be able to tell. Maybe then I'll give you more time for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Doron.
Did you close it? It's closing now? Closing now, and then you do the others. Thanks.
That was